This morning I turned a spectral compressor into a vocoder, and I've just spent all day trying to do the opposite. Yeah, so I'm trying to turn a vocoder into a spectral compressor. And that might sound complicated, but don't worry, it's about to get a lot worse. So if you take a vocoder and set it to like the internal modulator signal, you're kind of already getting spectral expansion. And you might think, oh, hey, just duplicate the dry signal and then put in a phase flip, and surely that's just gonna cancel out and you're left with a compressor. And this is what that sounds like. It doesn't do anything. That's because the vocoder makes these frequency bands by doing phase shifts, so just stick in a phase flip on everything at the end isn't gonna achieve anything when your phase relationship is already completely out of whack. So what we need to do is make this vocoder linear phase, somehow. The good news is you can analyze the phase relationship of a filter by looking at its impulse response. For that, we're gonna need a single sample impulse, and I don't even know where people get those from, so I just wrote some terrible Python code to make one. And here's the file that made. And I'm sticking a vocoder on that with the release all the way up. If I record that impulse response to a new track, look at that, it's asymmetrical. Now an asymmetrical IR means non-linear filter. The solution for this is to reverse the impulse response and then put it into a convolver. This kind of mirrors the filter, and if you record that again, you can go in and have a look and see that it is now nice and symmetrical. So chuck that onto your synth, and now you've got a lovely little linear phase vocoder. You can probably see that there's a slight delay here, and that's the length of your impulse response, which is 0.9 milliseconds. So I'm gonna make a parallel chain and put in a line delay and just make it that length, and now we've got two parallel chains that are in sync with each other, but one of them has a linear phase vocoder on it. And that means we can finally go and put a utility plugin on the end and flip the phase. Now as you turn up the gain, it starts to compress. Now there's one problem with this, which is that it has a lot of problems. So the effect is really subtle, and if I push it too much, it starts expanding high frequencies. I think this might either be because of aliasing or like problems in digital audio getting compounded when we resampled. I think from this point, I could either spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to get this to work, or I could embrace how weird it sounds and try to make a new audio effect out of it. I know you people on the internet know a lot more than digital signal processing than me, so I love to hear your thoughts.